I'm good, thank you. So we have you in the room here. If you can just make sure your chat is up and running. I just sent you a test message. Just confirm that you received that.
Got it.
Please keep your eyes on there. We have very tight time frames, so I want to make sure that we can get all the questions in. All right, so you may go ahead and slate your name and outlet, and you may begin.
Okay, great. Rihanna Talley, Associated Press. Rihanna, how are you?
Hi, Leanne. How are you? I'm great.
Good. Thank you for getting with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Right in a lot of time.
Yeah, no problem.
So why did you feel it was important to put on a fashion show during the pandemic and with Black Lives Matter and everything else that's going on in the world right now?
There's a lot going on in the world right now, and I relate to all of it. Savage is one of those spaces where we want to make people in my community feel included. We want to include other communities as well. We want to have that inclusivity be a part of our brand always. We want to always push the envelope on that. We want to expand on that. And putting on a show this year was important for us. People need a little bit of hope. They need a little bit of happiness. And if we can bring a smile to their face and a little bit of fun while they're at home, stuck at home, it's a desire and an honor to be a part of that.
For sure. So what tone did you want to strike with this show and this collection? And will you see Black Lives Matter messaging, support, etc.?
Well, I'm a Black woman, and I'm an owner of this company, and so this is going to exude everything that I stand for, everything I believe in, everything I've always done up until now, and just expanding on that. And the brand Savage X is an inclusive brand. We don't believe in division. We do not believe in excluding anyone. And so we're just going to continue to push that. That's been our message from day one, and it's not going to change now because everyone is having that realization. We've been doing that, and it's because it came from a genuine place, and we genuinely believe that. It's not a bandwagon move.
I wonder if there was any particular messaging that you're going to include at BLM or in songs from your performers.
Well, the performers get to decide whatever they want to perform. They get to decide the creative aspect of their own little genius, and we allow them to play. We want them to feel comfortable. Of course, we're going to try to push the show to new production heights. It's definitely going to be a lot different this year than it has been in the past. Dealing with COVID-19, right now, health is our biggest priority. And we want to make sure that everyone that's going to be a part of this show is going to be safe. We're trying our hardest to be responsible. It's definitely challenging, but everyone is up to it, and everyone is up for the challenge. So I'm really appreciative of that. And I don't think that Black Lives Matter is something that's new to us as a brand. I think it might be new to a lot of you guys, maybe the media. But for us as a brand, we've started this company on a Black woman's back.
I gotcha. So tell us a little bit about the collection. What we can see in the collection?
Well, you're going to see it in the show, of course. It's going to be 4 main categories. We start off with Dear Diary, and we end in a new franchise that we're introducing to the brand, which is like a male representation. Christian Combs is our new collaborator, and he designed some boxer briefs that both men and women and non-binary people of all gender appropriations and the pronouns, everyone is included. I didn't want this to be boxers are for men type situation, and then we have to make a female version. I love wearing boxer briefs, and when I saw him wear them in the show last year, a lot of people were really excited. Our customers were excited, and this year we're introducing that to our show, so I'm excited about that.
Okay, great. So on another note, have you held any writing camps for the album, and how is that going?
Oh, we started with tons of writing camps. Now it's more, what do I feel personally? What do I want to put out? And as an artist, how do I want to play with my art? How do I want to interpret that? How do I want to reimagine it? Because it's been so structured before. You do the pop, you do this genre, you do that, you do radio, you do who's following you and your fans. But now it's just like, what makes me happy? I just want to have fun with music. Everything is so heavy. The world that we live in is a lot. It's overwhelming every single day. And with music, I'm using that as my outlet. And I just want to have fun with that.
Any timing issues? Anything you can tell us on timing?
Definitely. I want to go on tour, but I can't. So I'm stuck with music that I love, and now I'm trying to figure out how I can even create visuals to that. That's a challenge as well. But I love challenges, so you know I'm going to get it done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Leanne.
This year's collection is broken down into 4 major parts, starting with Dear Diary. And we also have the Savage Not Sorry collection, which I'm wearing right now. We have the male introduction to our brand, which I'm so excited about. We're collaborating with Christian Combs. So for the first time, we're gonna have boxer briefs, boxer shorts. And I mean, I'm not gonna say it's for men because I wear it too, but you know, I like to be flexible. Well, last year at our last Savage show, it was really exciting for our customers and the Amazon Prime Video audience to see a male representation in a brand that hadn't really explored that before. And Christian did such a good job with his little 6-pack or whatever he did and flexed when he did that. And it has Savage on the top of these. Everybody was asking me about these. What are those? I want them. I want them. I want them. And I felt like, why not give it to them? And Christian, he does such a great job at representing Savage X as an ambassador. It just felt right to have him be our first true collaborator in a space that we hadn't explored before. We've collaborated before, but not in a new franchise. The show has evolved so much since the first one in 2018. We started off our show in like an old armory, and it was really hot and sweaty. And we really only had limited resources to work with, but we made the best of it, and people really enjoyed just seeing a bit of inclusivity. And when we realized how much people appreciated something that we just sincerely wanted to do, we didn't know that we would have the response that we did. And so we took that and we said, this is going to be the core of what our brand stands for, because we do it already, we love it, we appreciate it, and to see people confirm and validate it, we didn't want to deny their access to our brand. And from now on, we're just going to keep expanding on the level of inclusivity, and every show has expanded on that ever since. And this time it's going to be nothing different. We're going to have an amazing show. We're going to have completely extreme levels of inclusivity, and we're going to have people feeling excited about just seeing something fun in the midst of a really dark, wild time. I'm happy to be a part of that. Give people a little bit of hope, excitement, and something fun to look at. It's really important for me to expand, to build, to evolve, to do things bigger, better, try new aspects of creativity. Very important for me. I get bored really quickly, so if I've done it, I'm already bored of it while I'm doing it. That's something, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm always like, what's next? What's next? I want something better. I want something different. How do we, it doesn't necessarily have to be bigger, but maybe it's deeper. Maybe we just go deeper and explore things that aren't being discussed. When casting the show, there are a lot of different aspects. So there are a lot of different mini categories that I have in my brain, because when it comes to being inclusive, you want everyone to be a part of that. So I always want to have my women of color. I want to have an array of women in the minority space and of our race and our people. I want to have representation in aspects that are outside of that, where women aren't usually projected as sexy, but they are. They're sexy, and they need to know that. They need to be validated about that, no matter what size they are. I'm so focused on that and making women and not just women, but everyone feel invited, welcome. Savage is a home, it's a hub, and it's a safe space for everyone. I'm mostly excited to shoot Garden. I know Dear Diary, I'm also gonna be like slightly mysteriously a part of. I'm mostly excited about Paris opening the show, really, because it presents such a strength, a confidence, it sets a tone of body positivity. She's everything that every woman wants to feel, and she exudes that in her performance, her choreography, her creativity, and her vision. And I felt like it was important to have her be a staple at the beginning of the show just to set the tone. And then in Garden, I got to come out and play and flower and what they call it, power walk. That's what they call it. But I'm gonna do my best to live up to that. Approaching the show, knowing that there wasn't going to be a live audience, was definitely something that would present its challenges. I'm always up for a challenge, so to know that Amazon Prime was up for the challenge with us, it felt great. It gave us the hope that we can create anything that we put our will to, and responsibly so. So having so many people be a part of a production like this, of this magnitude, is definitely a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving people, a lot of people to make sure that their health is in order, because that's our priority. Everybody has to be healthy. You can't even make it to the rehearsal if you're not negative. And COVID is it's like this thing looming over us. So it's a lot of pressure, because we're like holding our breath until we hear it's wrapped. We're holding our breath, hoping that no one gets sick, and that's something that's in our mind, but it's also something that we're on top of. We're not playing around with that. The other side of that is the behind the scenes, where the things that people don't get to see, how the collection is created, how these fittings get approved, how the casting gets approved. All of these things a lot of them have been done virtually for the most part. But the collection, we've been working on this collection since our last show. While we were working on the production of our last Savage X show, like we were actually creating this collection from scratch. And it's incredible to see how things can change so quickly, unexpectedly, and you just have to figure out what are we going to do about it? Solutions. So that's been my drive, because we're always going to be presented with issues, especially in a time like this, but you can do anything if you figure out how to work around it within our parameters. Damn, I mean, in quarantine, you don't really got a lot of juice to work with. I mean, you could get up and put on a full face of makeup and shit, but it's like, who's gonna see it? So the thing that makes me feel great is when I feel healthy, when I feel like my skin is glowing, my hair is thick, and I'm excited to do little things in life. Like, I appreciate every little thing. That makes me happy, but happiness kind of is the open door to everything. Like, you could do anything. You could be creative, you could be savage, you could be antisocial, you could just be whatever you want, as long as you're comfortable and you're happy being exactly in that space. I've grown to appreciate the little things, and I've grown to love being still, which is something I haven't been used to since I was 16 years old. What I want them to know about the show is that we're not going to dumb anything down. Within our restrictions, we're going to be forced to get creative and be clever about production and work our way around the norm that we've usually had. That we're just going to create a new normal, but we're going to make it incredible. So I can't wait for people to see how much we put into this show to make it as visually enticing as possible while they're at home stuck in the midst of the wildest times of our lives. I'm excited about that. But when it comes to the collection, we stepped it up. We keep stepping it up. Every single time I sit there with my team, I'm amazed at the fabric, the skill set, the techniques, and also the design. We're taking things to new levels, and I apply a lot of the things that I've experienced in lingerie in the past, just whether it's comfortability, flattering parts of your body, how to flatter different things, the problem areas, things that people don't think about when they're designing for like a fantasy body. It's personal for me. And so I get excited. I love it. I love creating, but I can't wait to show people what we've created in the last year. Cause it's been over a year now.
I just want to say first, before we even get started with this, congratulations. I know that this is a hard thing to pull off, and you are not only doing it well, but you're including so many people and so many perspectives and stories as a part of it. It's no wonder it's also Emmy nominated. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow. Yeah, you had to bring that up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gotta feel good, right? Right? You know what I'm
It
saying?
feels
Like right out the
incredible.
gate.
You know, I have an incredible team that there's so many people that are a part of pulling this off. So to see them being acknowledged in a world like that, it's impressive. I'm proud. I'm proud of everyone, and it makes me want to go even harder this year.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder for you, I mean, because this is like, you really are revolutionizing the way that fashion shows are being broadcast. Like I have said, when I first watched the first one you did on Amazon before, I said, this is the new Victoria's Secret fashion show. Like, this is the new big thing, and you've done it in such a way that it's incredible. Does it feel like that to you? Do you feel like, yeah, we're changing the game with this?
You know, when I go into anything that I do, I never go into it with that result in my mind. I genuinely want everything to come from a sincere place because I have to live with that. So if everyone hates it, I still have to love it. I still have to be proud of it. And if everyone loves it and I hate it, I've been there before, I still can't live with it.
Yeah.
And so when it comes from a true place, it's the last thing on your mind is how people are going to react to it. And when
Okay.
people do, and they have this connection, this emotional connection, like they see themselves on the stage like that in a lingerie industry for the first time, it makes me feel like I'm in the right direction, and it
Yeah.
drives me to make sure that I never alienate the people that feel included here. Now, this is their home always, and I just want to invite more people here.
Yeah.
Every year, every show, I want to challenge myself to push the boundaries of inclusivity.
Tell me this, because I mean, you look spectacular tonight. I
Thank
can
you.
imagine. You know what I'm saying? You know you look. You know. But I want. But I wondered for you, because you are this person that exudes this kind of confidence. I wonder when you feel, and I mean this respectfully, when you feel your sexiest. Is it before a tour? Is it before a fashion show? Is it in the bed? Like, when do you feel? When does Rihanna feel the most sexy?
You know, when I feel like when I feel naturally beautiful, when
Mm,
I feel like I was in the sun, I got a little tan, I don't need no makeup, my skin is popping, my melanin is a little browner, my hair is curly, I feel confident that, wow, like I didn't need anything extra. Like
right.
God did a good job. Like I feel confident when I don't have the accessories of society's beauty, honestly.
That's real. That's
And
real.
quarantine, I got a lot of that. I got a face on today, but like that's not the last 7 months.
Right. Now tell me this. Have you always been confident in your skin? Have you always been a person who has been able to say, in my most natural is when I feel the sexiest? Or did you have to work on that?
I had to work on that. I mean, honestly, even the natural hair thing that came after I stopped perming my hair.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I really started to appreciate the beauty of my natural hair. And I thought, like, what was I thinking? Like, what was I trying to make better? Like, my hair is so much better and healthier and stronger and thicker without these chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that helped me to embrace my natural beauty, having phenomenal skin, working on a skincare line,
Yeah.
just so that I could feel like my skin is a flex.
Here's the thing. This is my last question. The last time we talked, I asked you to look forward, right? To think about your legacy. Now I kind of want to, in 2020, this has been a crazy, crazy year. This decade has been insane. All the success that you've had, all the wins that you've experienced, not only this year, but through this decade. At the beginning, what would you tell that Rihanna, knowing what you know now, having experienced what you've experienced now, what would you tell that Rihanna?
Ooh, to live in the moment more, because that's what I'm learning. I've always known that was a something difficult for me to do and grasp, because I've always felt like whatever's now is just a fleeting moment, and I need to prepare for what's next. I need to set my goals higher. I need to move to the next thing and the next challenge and the next. And with the quarantining during COVID-19, it's really taught me to just be in the now.
In the now.
If you don't have the next, that is none of your business. As a matter of fact, it isn't even granted to you.
Wow.
And life has never seemed so short as it has in this COVID quarantine. It's insane. But I've had a lot of deep thoughts about that. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just like, anything, it could be as small as a walk. I promise you, it's like the greatest to me right now.
Yeah. Finding the little wins. The little wins. For me, to be honest with you, for me right now, the little win is us going to Barbados for crop over next year. Let's do it.
That's something to look forward to, but you see, that's the next. So right now we just got like put some colorful stones on and a little bit of a boa somewhere.
Make it work.
Music and pretend.
I'll be right there with you. Thank you, love. This is so great. It's so good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. This is going to be awesome. Another win.
See you in Barbados.
You know
what
it.
are you doing? I know you took a little spill.
I just wanted to have a fun time. And it's these little things that I've been forced to focus on and find. Yeah. These little things that make me happy just momentarily. And even if they're dangerous.
Ree, girl, you are giving us the full-fledged glam, darling.
I know I had to put it all together tonight. I have not been in this much glam the entire quarantine, of course. I've been just sitting in robes with no makeup and whatever my hair does that day. But
hey,
of course I had to get cute for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, girl. Hey, now, thank you for getting cute for me today, because I don't know if you know what today is, but today marks a year ago that we reconnected at the Barclays Center for the big Fenty fashion show last year. And
wow.
Friend anniversary.
Isn't that crazy to think that that was just a year ago that we could actually be face to face?
I know. And we were just like throwing jabs back and forth and having fun with each other in the flesh. Now we'll have to just suffice with Zoom. But girl, let's talk about this production, because last year it was off the chain. This year, what can we expect this year? What are the logistics going into it?
Well, it's definitely still going to be off the chain. You wouldn't see it otherwise. But I know that it's definitely a lot more challenging logistically. Yeah. There are a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving people, and everyone's health obviously comes first. So it's trying to stay on top of that and make sure that everyone's good on top of a production that relies on everyone's health. It's presented its challenges, but we love a challenge, and we were just grateful that Amazon Prime was up for the challenge with us.
Yeah. So where are you going to be shooting it this year? You're taping it, obviously. How many models are going to be involved? Men, women, what's cooking?
Definitely men, women, non-binary. There's going to be an array of personalities, and I'm excited to present this show with new product that we've actually been designing since our last show. While we were making the last show, we were actually creating this collection. So it's fantastic to see it finally come to fruition. I'm particularly excited about our male representation from Christian Combs. We're doing a collaboration with him, which is really special to us. He's the latest collaborator for the brand, and he's worn randomly a customized boxer brief last year, which had the ladies going a little bit crazy. So
Yeah.
you know what? Come over to Savage and make them.
Yeah.
I wear them all the time, so I'm excited to see how people interpret that new franchise in our brand.
And of course, last time that we spoke, you told me that you feel like you have been busier than ever, even in the midst of a pandemic. So clearly that is the case. How do you continue to keep yourself inspired and motivated during times like these?
You know, I start to dial back a lot because there's a lot happening always. And when I get into those little crevices of these huge moments, I just try to think about what I really love to do, like what truly makes me happy. And it's really the littlest things. It could be cooking, it could be walking, it could be biking.
Girl, you've been cooking?
Scooting. But
I heard about
it's
that.
all of these little tiny things that you just do for fun that in the moment, they just make you feel great.
Yeah.
I don't have a license, so I can't really drive, but driving is also one of those things that are therapeutic.
Well, honey, now I'm going to back up a little bit because you mentioned scooting and being on an electric scooter. How are you doing? I know you took a little spill.
I'm doing tremendously better.
I mean, when I saw those pictures of you come out with the bruises, I was like, Bree, girl, you and Simon Cowell need to be in timeout.
I know. Thank God it wasn't as bad as his. Honestly, I'm really grateful that it wasn't as intense. But, you know, back to what you were saying, I just wanted to have a fun time. And it's these little things that I've been forced to focus on and find.
Yeah.
These little things that make me happy just momentarily. And even if they're dangerous.
Bree, girl, you got to be careful.
I know. Trust me. I'll go slower next time.
Okay, yeah. You might be having to put that scooter away for the time being. And, you know, you talk about...
You know what's scary?
What's that?
I'm probably not going to put the scooter away. That's
Rihanna, you need to reel it in, mama. You got a lot of
I
business.
will definitely not do it before a Savage production.
Okay.
Ever again.
Yes.
But after, I'll be back.
You've got all sorts of details going into Savage x Fenty for your upcoming fall collection. I hear even some like embroidery of your own doodles into the mix of some of the designs. Is that correct?
Yeah. It was a random little fun doodle night because it was supposed to be personal. It was supposed to be a play on a diary. And I figured just let's doodle and design what the diary would look like, because in my diary, it's full of empty pages. We even have these little merch diaries that we give as gifts that the doodles are outside of, and the pages are empty for you to journal whatever you want to journal in them. I've been coloring all of them, but we incorporated that into the embroidery in the lace, and it's like a fun little sub collection within the entire show.
So good. Girl, you are always working on something, and that is something that you told me in late July when I last spoke with you. You said that, you know, you're always constantly working on music, and something that we've always gone back and forth on and everything. But how are times in this world today? How are they impacting your music and what you're working on, whether or not you want to put it out right now?
Yeah. It impacts everything. It impacts the timing for a lot. It impacts touring. It impacts how feasible it is to travel or have people that you want to work with travel to you. It forces you to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I'm that type of girl. I just want to figure out a solution. I don't want to stay stuck on the problem. I want to okay, so what do we do about it?
Yeah.
And with COVID, every day has been, so what do you do about it? Because there's always a challenge. Every day is something different, every single day. And so the what do you do about it aspect has come into full play during this quarantine, and it's helped a lot, and it's forced me to figure things out and get creative and clever about it.
Yeah. Well,
We've been spoiled. We've really been spoiled, and this is a humbling experience.
Come on. Come on. Bust the vibe, Janet Jackson, keep it going. One time, baby, just tell me just how you feel. We living it and just giving it to you real, baby, come on. Every time we crossing the borderline, we giving it to you, making you feel fine. When you know we're gonna make your body wet. Yes. Make your body make you think of naughty things. On me, on you. Yeah. What it's gonna be. Check it out. See, the only thing you need to do right here is just nod your fucking head. Yeah. Yeah. Break your fucking neck, bitches. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go now. Where we going now? Where we going now? Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Just give it away, nigga. Come here, man. Talk to a nigga, talk to me. You look like you can really give it to a nigga from the way you're talking, the way you try to walk for me, the way you really try to put it on the guard. Doing it like I never did before for me, the way you break your back and I break your neck, and the way you try to put it on the floor. Go ahead and break your neck, come on. Break your neck, come on. Break your neck, come on. Bang your head until you start to break your neck, come on. Break your neck.